not every act of foreclosure turns out badly. What we find in most of the clients that we encounter is that their lifestyles, their situations, things that have happened in life have put them in a place where they're afraid to make the big decisions. They're afraid to let go of certain things. They don't have the right advice. And most of the time, when I'm going to say at the end of 2 or 3 months of counseling, we discover that deep down in their gut, deep down inside, they knew what they had to do. They were just afraid to do it. So, if you or if your family members or your friends are in that situation, encourage them, exactly what she said. Encourage them to take the first step and either to speak to Stephanie or to myself at Hogar or any of our counselors there. We will listen to you, and then we'll offer you the best advice that we have. You may discover that you're living beyond your means. You may discover that there are some financial habits that you need to correct. I often tell my clients, show me your checkbook and I'll tell you who you are. But better that it be someone like us that can tell you those things, because we're there on your side. We will work with you. And each situation, exactly as the previous panel said, each situation is completely different. There may be those that have children and that are afraid of moving them out of a school district, and you'd be surprised how resilient children can be. There are those that have made commitments in their workplace or to other relatives. Many of our clients have either a mother living with them or some other close relative. So all of these social components really put tremendous amount of pressure on people. And it's common to see the anxiety. It's common to see the stress. We want to be able to say to you, we will work with you during these stressful times, but you're in the driver's seat. It's like what Mary was saying. You will make the decisions. And Stephanie will tell you the same thing. We will give you the tools to make the right decision, but it rests with you. And in the interim, always, always, always communicate. And when you call the bank, don't have your kids pick up the phone and say, you're not home, please. Speak to a banker, speak to a collection person, and take their name down. Because every time you call and every time you speak to someone, it gets recorded somewhere, and that will help you. It will show your willingness to even just say, look, I can't come up with the payments right now, but I'm not running away. Another thing, please do not wreck your kitchens. Do not steal your kitchen cabinets. Do not yank out the chandeliers. Do not do that, because it makes our job a whole lot harder to do. There's always a place for someone to go to. I'm a firm believer in that. I'm a firm believer that if we can do away with all of these other entanglements and emotional things that we have that are holding us back from seeing clarity, that maybe there's another home for you. You can leave your home before you get foreclosed on, and then restructure your credit. It's done every day, especially in today's market. We have families that were foreclosed on 5 and 6 years ago that have now restored their credit completely and are living in a home that may not be, the mansion that they used to have, but they're living comfortably, and they get to spend more time with their families, and they get to come home and not have to work the full-time and the part-time and the weekend job. I tell my clients, and I would tell you too today, do not work just to own a home. That's no way to live. In the interim, if you have a determination to remain in your home, and you've met with Stephanie and you've met with legal aid, then understand that there must be at least 50 or 60 different ways to stay in your home. But the reality always is that until you make the right decision early on, every day that you wait, you actually limit those options to you. So the second thing I wanted to talk about is that one of the unlikely heroes in this foreclosure market is a reverse mortgage. How many of you have ever heard of a reverse mortgage besides Alfie over there? Okay. So that means we have an audience of some people that are a little bit older than I am. Okay. Foreclosures, and Stephanie and I were talking a little bit before. She's seeing a tremendous increase in the number of people that are now applying for reverse mortgages. So if you are age 60, is it 65 or 62? Thank you. If you're 62 or older, and you have equity in your home, and you'd like to remain in your home, a reverse mortgage is an excellent option. More often than not, we're encountering senior citizens that are living on fixed incomes who are getting socked with tremendously high taxes, triple the amount of utility bills that they used to have before. And let's face it, when we get older, we're not as active as we used to be. I've met women and men that are 75, 74 years old that are still forced to work in order to stay in their homes. And once we do the reverse mortgage, they feel like they've, really, really, really retired.
Could you explain what a reverse mortgage is in case not everyone knows?
Okay. A reverse mortgage, it's just that it works backwards. So if you have a home and you have certain equity in it, then you can apply for a reverse mortgage. It does not, the approval is not based on your credit, your FICO scores. It's simply based on the appraised value of your home and your age. It's the one time that you can really celebrate. The older that you are, the more you're worth. So you can access a reverse mortgage to do any number of things. So the premise is that you get a reverse mortgage and you pay off your first mortgage and your credit cards or your medical bills and whatever else. And then for the time that you remain in that home, that you and your spouse remain in that home, you don't make a mortgage payment. The payments are incurred against the equity of the home, and you can remain in your home as long as you live. It's that simple.
Thank you.
Okay? He says you can't ask any questions until later, and he's the boss. Sorry. HOGAR is an acronym for Housing Opportunities for Growth, Advancement, and Revitalization. It's a homeowner center. We're a community economic development corp, and we're a HUD-certified counseling agency. But the real pro is Stephanie over there. So we have a very aggressive first home buyers program, and we do a lot of credit counseling. We do foreclosure prevention and default counseling and a lot of reverse mortgages. We've done over 250 of them. Thank you.
Thank you very much.